Oh, no. Yeah, the camera's there. Okay. Hello, fellow translators. Today I'm going to talk about something very precise. I've been asked this several times. How long does it take to become a translator? So I'm going to tell you exactly how long it takes down to the minute from when you decide, oh, I would like to be a translator to actually earning a living as a translator. No, it's not exactly that simple. But let me try to address that and answer that question. So this is obviously quite a complicated question, and it obviously depends for everyone in every different situation. But I do think there are a couple things we can cover when answering this question. First of all, what things do you need in place if you want to be a translator? You need to be able to translate. That is a thing. And this is, however, not as evident as you might think, because how do you know you can translate? And a lot of people ask me this and they're not sure. And I've talked about this in the past, how there are various ways to tell. You can get a degree, you can get certified, you can try translating yourself and see how your translation compares to other people who've actually translated before. There are many ways you can go about this. And my advice is usually to sort of make it, you should feel some imposter syndrome when you're starting off. If you're too sure of yourself and you know you can handle it, you've waited a bit too long. Like, you should be pushing yourself, right? Going sort of into uncharted territory a bit, not too much, a bit. And so that's usually my recommendation. If you're feeling a bit insecure about what you're doing, that's a good sign because you're pushing yourself. And and then you will get an idea once you get into it and start going about it and seeing how you perform. So just try to push yourself. Try to obviously practice and see where your level is at. Now, this is up to all of you. You're going to have to see where your level is at. Once you feel that you can handle translations, for a lot of you, like for me, I had been translating informally while I was at school, and then later a bit more formally, but I was doing it for extra money, while I was in grad school, and then later on. So I had experience in it, and it got a lot more formalized later on when I decided, okay, I might as well try to earn a living from this. And that's when actually I delved a lot more into the different tactics, the theory, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this journey is different for everyone. But once you feel you can start or go at it, at least in certain specializations or for certain types of translations, then you can start. And so what do you do at this point? And how long does it take at this point? Well, it depends. No, but there are certain things that you need to do. You need clients. And you need to be able to handle the translations. So the biggest thing, the main thing you're going to be working on is finding clients, and in order to find clients, then what do you need? Well, they need to want to hire you. So you need to show them that you're the right person for the job. My recommendation for this, and I go into a lot more detail like in the course and all that, but is to be available online. These days, most people are going to hire you online. So you need to show that you have a very well completed like LinkedIn profile, pros.com, stuff like that, and your resume for freelancers, not for 9-to-5 jobs. And I've talked about this at length in the past as well. But you need these things in place kind of before you get started. And so I recommend, if you don't have these things in place, to kind of take a few days to work on it. Take a weekend, take whatever it is. In essence, it means making sure you have a good resume, and then you use that same data in your LinkedIn profile, your pros.com profile, stuff like that. And find videos where I talk about setting up LinkedIn, setting up pros.com, because I know I talk about it here on my channel. Obviously in the course, I go through it in detail, and try to see how to do that. But take a few days to make sure those things are in place, because they need to be in place before you get started. And then and then you're good to go. And then it's sales and marketing. And what you're looking for with sales and marketing is a regular client, not necessarily a big client, not even necessarily a client who pays so much, but a regular client with regular work. You're going to find other clients first and in the meantime, but the regular clients are what give you regular work, which makes it a lot more comfortable when you're a freelancer to be able to rely on this regular, even semi-regular work that you can keep doing. And that's why it's important to do a good job, because then you get the repeat business. Then you get the referrals. Then you get stuff like that. So that's what you need to be concentrating on first. There are various methods to do this, which I won't go into detail here. When you go out there and you've gotten a couple jobs, you can use these first jobs as ratings and reviews to then get the next jobs. And once you have like 2 or 3 positive ratings and reviews, it kind of gets a bit easier. Obviously, every new job, try to get a new rating or review, and then just keep going. And and then you've started going, and then you started earning a living, and there you go. That's pretty much how the process works. So how long does this take? How long does it take from when you decide, hey, I should be a translator, to actually being a translator? As I've detailed here, and I go into much more in depth in the course, it can take a while. But actually, and not to keep talking about my course, I don't want to sound too much like a used car salesman, but I do start off there with saying, this, when you're setting up your profile, your online profile, your photo, your list of services, stuff like that, I talk about how long each step will take. Like, this will take half a day. This will take a day. This will, if you already have a resume, this will take whatever, so you can kind of schedule it out, and that within 2, 3, whatever number of days, I can have all this finished and done. And then I can start with the marketing and getting clients and whatnot. But yeah, if you count a few days for setting that up, let's say it's a week, because I'm going to be generous. By the way, having everything set up and look good does not mean that you need to pay someone to make you a professional website or to get business cards and a logo or stuff like that. Don't waste your time with that stuff. You can do it in the background, but you can get started in the meantime. So don't think that's an excuse to delay, because it's just an excuse to delay. Don't use that as an excuse. But once you have everything in place and you can get started, then you're just trying to find new clients. I recommend finding the first 2 or 3 clients to use those reviews to get future clients. That can take a while. We're talking about, say, a few months. If all goes well, you could be earning a living 6 months from when you decide to start earning a living. It's happened quicker. It's definitely taken longer. There's so much luck that comes into it, and randomness and probability, that, this sort of takes that into account. But if you're constantly applying for jobs, obviously it depends on your language combination, specialization, and all that as well. But if you do things correctly, don't make too many false starts, then you could be earning a living doing what you love 6 months from the moment you decide to do it. Now, for most people I talk to, it's been longer, just because, it hasn't been a clean thing from start to end. That's why I have again, I'm like a used car salesman. That's why I have my course, because it details exactly what to do without making all the mistakes that a lot of people made, that I made as well when I was first starting out. But that's why, if you do things correctly, usually I say about 6 months. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think, or what your experience has been, or anything along those lines, because I'd really like to hear about it. But I thought it was a cop-out to give all the explanation and not give an answer at the end, so I kind of wanted to give an answer. And I think 6 months works as an answer. Please feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on this. I'd love to hear them. And otherwise, I will talk to you next time. Okay, thanks. Bye. Savedum.